Hello and welcome back, guys. After a small delay between the two games, we are here in game number 2 of the 2-game series between xGame KZ and myInsanity, where both teams, they definitely want to grab a win. myInsanity, if they lose this, they will still be in the running of getting into the playoffs, but they will be tied with two other teams, he as well as Team Coast. So we might get at least triple tiebreakers if we're lucky. Maybe xGame up against Crypsis will get even 4 teams to tiebreak for the playoff spots. But we're here, we're in the draft already. I'm Coucher and I am joined by Blackadder again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and as we go into game number 2, we do get the starting shadow showing out of xGame, so we might see a flip on the head here with xGame going pushy instead of myInsanity.
It's definitely a possibility at the moment. Of course, myInsanity, maybe they will go for some push or just pick some push themselves now. And I do believe I saw a game yesterday when both teams kind of had a pretty damn strong pushing lineup. So might come down to that. But what other heroes are still actually left in the pool here that are usually picked? I guess Razor, definitely one of those. Viper, possibly Skyriff Mage.
Tinker.
Tinker, oh man. Well, wow. Okay, Nature Prophet, Skyriff comes out, so xGame. I guess Death Prophet is still an option for them as well if they want to strengthen their push here a little bit.
Well, they could do, and Death Prophet does tank up fairly nicely, so can stand to an extent against Skyriff Mage unless an Ion Cannon opens up on top of her head. But we do go for the center instead, so we could be looking for Blink Gaming here, and I have no problems with that. I'm also expecting a ban on Tinker for this reason as well.
Oh man, I hope we see a ban on Tinker. I guess the last game, the Tinker didn't feel as awful since their team, the team with the Tinker, had the advantage anyway. So it wasn't like the other team couldn't finish since Mars of the Machines was just too damn annoying or something. So actually it wasn't all that bad, but xGame, they do take out both the Death Prophet as well as the Tinker here. Whereas Razor banned by myInsanity. I guess maybe something like a Viper to also get banned now, possibly.
I could see a ban on the Viper, yes, certainly, by myInsanity, considering you've got to consider Viper tanks up very nicely, good against Skyrath, good against the Prophet, and hell, Viper's good against nearly everyone with the exception of Doom, because, you know, Doom counters everyone. But from where we sit, myInsanity could also look to ban a Pugna, and we will see that, considering Pugna versus Skyrath Mage, very nasty combination.
Yeah, and from that ban, to be honest, yes, like you said, it's pretty damn annoying, even if it's a support Skyriff Mage, but I'm just a little bit hoping for a mid lane Skyriff. I doubt it will happen, but one can hope. But myInsanity picking up an Enigma now, so
I
getting
like
some
this.
solid lockdown, and well, are we gonna see some more team fight coming out of them?
More team fight, please, more team fight. Blink Gaming versus Team Fight Enigma, and we get a Wisp. We have the makings for a cracker of a game here.
Oh, indeed we do. So, man, myInsanity, their 4th pick about to come. They are full on the supports unless Skyriff Mage will indeed be a mid laner. I guess Wraith King wouldn't be too bad of a hero, although I guess it would mean it's a core one and up against Io might just get kited a little bit.
Quite possible, but you mentioned Io. Now, is this Wisp going to be teamed with a Tiny is my question. Because if we see Tiny Wisp, it's going to be very unpleasant for myInsanity. Then again, could see a Chaos Knight, and I honestly have no opposition at all to seeing a CK.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really either. It's a pretty damn strong hero, to be honest. The one downside of him is that if you fall behind early, you don't really have the flash farming capabilities, which a Tiny still does. Even without the Aghanim Scepter, you can still just avalanche toss and clear off creep waves.
So you say he doesn't have a flash farming method, but consider this. I mean, we all know the Tiny has the burst damage, but let's say you are slightly behind as a CK, you're lacking your BKB up against these 3 heroes of myInsanity. You and your Wisp TP onto a lane, you press your Phantasm, so you have multiple of you. Now, we all joke about pressing R and deleting a hero. With CK, and you've got your Phantasm up, all you do is press W.
I guess it's a solid enough point, but it just...
And I only point this out because even Naga, all of these heroes are low HP. If you press W when you have your Phantasm up, you will hands down delete one of these heroes from a fight. And the Chaos Rift, the Reality Rift even, has a cooldown period of, I believe, 6 seconds. It's also a natural BKB carrier and very tanky, so that's why I would favor it here. But
I wouldn't mind it at all. It's always nice to see a Chaos Knight. It's pretty damn aggressive, so makes for a good game to view. But myInsanity, they do ban out the Tiny, so I guess they're a little bit more scared of that. Although at the moment, xGame, they already have 2 extremely tanky heroes, the Centaur as well as the Bristleback. But how do they lane this now that the Bristleback was picked up for them? Wow.
Okay. There's your answer. This is going to be interesting. I was hoping for the CK, but this is just going to be as devastating. And we also consider the Elder Titan now for myInsanity. We basically have lots of team fight versus tanky team fight. You realize how this game is going to go, yeah?
Man, I hope it's going to go like that. Sometimes the lineups look exactly like these two and they just don't clash. Well, maybe at the start, but suddenly one team gets a little bit too bad of a start in those fights and just gets a little bit scared or something. But man, myInsanity, both lineups, it's really hard for me to actually point out who even has the better of it here. I guess it just comes down to how farmed the Naga can get early.
I'm going to put it this way. This is the potential for the kind of game where we get 2+ kills a minute for you guys in chat. This is going to hopefully be a slaughter fest. And as we sit right now, I'm considering how myInsanity going to lane this, same for xGame. I'm not sure who I want to put my bet on, and this is rare for me. I'm putting my money on xGame just for the sheer fact that I have a Tusk, and Walrus Punch is fun, no matter what anyone says.
Yeah, and I mean, at the moment, by who picked up what heroes, looks like the IO might be a core one here. Mantis is the core player for them usually, not the mid lane one though. And actually, I did see Hehe yesterday, I think it was, maybe the day before, playing IO 2 games in a row in the mid lane, completely crushing the opposition more or less. So, might be looking at something along the same lines. And man, I love xGame's lineup more because it's a little bit more unconventional and just has some crazy strategy to it. So
well, you say crazy strategy. This is one of the times I like to point out. Unorthodox or crazy is the line between genius and insanity.
Man, it certainly is, and we will see soon enough which one it sides more with. Either just genius or insanity.
This should be a cracker, and I'm certainly looking forward to that. But before we get this underway, while we're paused, we may as well get the formalities over with. I mean, let's introduce the players.
Yeah, man, the pick is yours.
I think I'm going to go with the easier to pronounce names. So I will introduce xGame. We have Stalcat on the Tusk. We have Wadafaka on the Centaur Wardrunner. We have Reeves on the Bristleback. We have Equal on the Shadow Shaman. And finally, we do have Mantis taking up that final hero, the Wisp.
And for myInsanity up on the Radiant side, Chrisine will be playing the Nature Prophet. Leaving Smudge is Punara, also meaning Dragon in the Well, I think at least, up on the Elder Titan. Milan playing the Naga Siren with LeBron on the Skyriff Mage, and Victor up on the Enigma.
Now, I say we get the formalities over and done with. This is the point where I have to ask you, who are you putting your bet on? Who are you putting your money on to win this game, Kojo?
Well, since you said xGame, I'm going to have to go for myInsanity. Just because. Although, I'm not overly convinced of the Naga Siren's ability to withstand the early aggression of xGame and just still get that decently timed Radiance.
I can understand that, and this is one of those games where you've got to consider what would the Radiance actually accomplish them, apart from increasing the farming speed of the Naga. I mean, Centaur, he's fairly tanky up against it, so is the Tusk and the Bristleback. I mean, is it really going to be worth the Radiance in this one?
Well, I just think the Radiance allows the Naga to flash farm that much faster and just get to the next set of items, but in this game, depending on how good the start is for the Naga, how early or how active xGame wants to be early on, I mean, he might just go for like the straight up Diffusal Blade, or even then, it's not that like a Diffusal Blade would phase xGame too much, I think.
I would be inclined to agree with you, and we are seeing some unorthodox lanes take shape here. Oh, xGame. We have potential for a dual lane top Wisp Bristleback, which I like, honestly. We have potential for a mid-Shadow Shaman. I've not seen this in quite a long time, I'll point out. And that does leave, of course, a dual lane of Tusk Centaur. If there's any lane that has the potential to snowball out of control, I have a feeling we could see that here coming out of xGame. But nonetheless, laning-wise for myInsanity, we've got an off-lane Elder Titan who's going to be looking to get those levels up as much as possible. We have a potential mid-lane Scarif, but it's LeBron that's Scarif, so that's most likely going to be a support. It'll be a mid-lane Milan on that Naga Siren. And that does leave, of course, the potential for the, of course, Enigma Jungle and safe lane Grazine.
Oh man, this, if it's gonna be a dual lane from xGame like this with the Tusk as well as the Centaur, I think actually their lane should be rather fine up against a Skyriff Mage as well as possibly well, not an Elder Titan, even a Nature's Prophet, I guess, Grazine heading towards the bottom lane. And not only that, they can just snowball into the Enigma in the jungle and just make his life a living hell.
That's the way I think this game is going to go. I mean, we don't see Tusk often, but I raised this point many a time here. The lineup of myInsanity, is very squishy. Snowball, Double Edge, Hoof Stomp, Ice Shards. Do I really need to say anything else? They have the potential to completely alienate and destroy one hero on the lineup of myInsanity with just the initiation power of the Tusk.
Oh man, this is gonna be a blast. And actually the thing with xGame at the moment is that all of their heroes or all of their players are taking up different roles in this game almost, man. Equal, he's usually the support, but he's playing the mid lane Shadow Shaman. Equally, Mantis, usually the core player for them. Support IO, and actually did rush for the bottle at the moment as well. Is that something that some IOs like to do, at least usually when it's like a dual mid lane, but it should be good enough. And how do you think Elder Titan will fare up against the Bristle IO combo?
I'm honestly not too sure. The Elder Titan should be safe, but I'm keeping my eyes on this mid lane quickly because we do get LeBron rotating, just harassing back equal for a few seconds. With dealing with the Bristle IO, I should think the Elder Titan will at least be harassed back a fair amount, but he's getting some okay damage onto Mantis at this point, just with a few right clicks, but of course Wisp has no armor. The IO has no base armor at all, so for the most part, I think the Elder Titan should be safe. Should be, being a key word.
Yeah, and at the moment, Equal in the mid lane, definitely not having a fun time. The Scarif Mage pretty much expended all of his mana pool just spamming Arcane Bolts at Equal. In Shadow Shaman, he's nowhere near a bottle as well, since he actually went for the Null Talisman first with triple branches. Whereas Milan, he already has his own bottle on the Naga Siren. So, Shadow Shaman, how well can he now keep the Naga Siren at check?
I should think as long as he maintains his range, whenever the Naga Siren tries to split, he'll just kill him with the other shot. He should be completely fine, but we do have some other interesting things going on around the map right now. Take a look at the Stalker on that Tusk. Every time that Victor comes forward with the Enigma, he's eating an Ice Shards or being forced back. It's perfect coming out of Stalker, and he's disrupting the Enigma's jungle. So as long as he can maintain that, he should be safe.
Well, I have to say that I was kind of expecting xGame to actually block off at least some of the camps for the Enigma, just to slow down his farm a little bit more, so that the heroes wouldn't have to commit too much to it themselves, but they chose not to buy any sentries or anything along those lines. And of course, Victor, he has vision of Stalk at the same time as well with this ward.
Well, that ward will of course reveal out the Tusk, force him back, and we do get the rotation from LeBron to ensure that. But Starcat finds himself a haste run, so we could be looking for potential engagement in the middle here, but I honestly doubt that we're going to see too much come of this. I mean, he doesn't have Snowball yet. If we had Snowball available for Stalcat, we could look for a kill, but just Ice Shards won't cut it.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, he came in with the haste run pretty much to just healing salve up the Shadow Shaman, so helping out whatever way they can. But bottom lane so far, what the fuck, increasing, just neck and neck, 10 and 2 compared to 10 and 3. So I guess it's kind of to be expected as well early on. H-Prophet can't do too much to a center, and the same applies the other way around as well.
At least for now, when we get Stampede available, Grazine is going to have a very rough time. And we've got to consider we do have level 2 on the Tusk now and level 4 on the Centaur, so they could be looking to burst off the back of the Double Edge. And it would not surprise me to see Stalcat start snowballing into Grazine at least a few times. But top lane, we do have Mantis being chased here by LeBron as well as by Dragon, and he's just going to tether through him. That's bought some time, and LeBron could potentially be the target here. He's getting slowed, he's getting brought down here by the Bristleback. This could be first blood, but no, LeBron will clean it up with the Arcane Bolt. So potentially a 1-1 trade. But then again, Grazine is here as well, doing some good damage to Reeves. Reeves might not escape this one. He's in a lot of trouble. Sure, he's got Bristleback, but it does not matter. One point in the past, it doesn't reduce enough damage, but still, Mantis arrives back, keeping him safe again for now. The question is, it's only going to be a matter of time before we see more aggression up on this top lane, and who's going to be the aggressor? The Bristleback, or more importantly, the Elder Titan with Grazine still lurking by as a support?
Oh wow, this exchange, I was almost certain that Skyriff Mage is gonna die there, but the Sprout kept Bristleback in place for long enough. He did survive in the end now, Mantis just sharing the bottle charges, using the overgrowth so that the regeneration would actually kick in as well. So, one kill, not the worst case for xGame, but since their lanes are a little bit weird as they are, I don't think they have too much space to just give any openings for myInsanity here.
No, I'd be inclined to agree with you. If xGame give away too many openings, they could be walking into effectively death. I mean, you've already got 2 points up in natural order for Dragon, and if he can just get on top of Reeves on that Bristleback, even with his passive, Bristleback won't be able to survive too much. I mean, that negative armor is going to be a huge thing, and Bristleback going to look for a little bit of aggression right now. Tether comes forward. They're going to try to bring down Dragon. The damage is there with the spirits, but is it enough? I'm not sure it is. 3 stacks of Snot onto Elder Titan. One more right click coming out of Mantis, and that will clean up the ET. Getting a bit overzealous in terms of his positioning. But while that is going on, we do have Tusk falling back. Maybe a failed gank attempt from Grazine. I'm not sure why he was so low.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't see it either, but mid lane equal is actually doing pretty damn good. I guess like you said earlier on as well, if he just either shocks down the illusions and harasses the Nagasar at the same time, he should be just fine. And so far, he has been using the other shock pretty damn often, and it is a slightly higher damage nuke than mostly the spells are. But just slightly, I mean, 260 damage on 3rd level, up to 5 targets as well, so equal. He's looking good so far. Nobody has really had time to gank him either. Usually that's one of the biggest weaknesses these days as a mid lane Shadow Shan, just the slow movement speed.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why he fell off in terms of popularity in mid lane. But we've got to consider how much burst damage Equal can actually do with A, the Aethershock, and B, the Mass Serpent Wards. Because he can just drop them and kill this Naga if he can find good positioning. Sure, Naga has Song of the Siren, it's going to buy her a little bit of time, but Milan does not have phase boots. He will not escape very easily if he has to use, if he gets caught in a ward trap. But equally good position coming out of Equal with the illusions, destroying the DD room before Milan can get it. So very good play coming out of this. So now we get a Stampede. Where's the Stampede going? Top lane. We have the burst down potential here coming out of Reeves. And they will manage to clean up the Elder Titan. They lost the Wisp in the exchange though, but in comes Grazine. He's just hammering away at Reeves, and Reeves will equally take a fall. But in comes Stalcat, looking to finish this one off. Will bring down the Skywrath Mage. So at least it's a 2-for-2 trade at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think myInsanity may be a little bit happier about it since they did bring down that just extremely tanky Bristleback. Although Bristleback, I'm kind of hoping that maybe just carry a Tango, at least have one Tango just to make sure he gets out of the Sprout, because now it's been 2 times that the Sprout has actually denied him a kill on Skywrath Mage.
Mid lane, we do have a little bit of a go here. They drop the Mass Serpent, was looking for a kill onto the Nagasaren, but doesn't quite manage it. Now Equal in a lot of trouble. Well, in comes the Wisp, tethering up, trying to force this one back. LeBron could potentially go down with one more right click from the Wisp, and will successfully do so. And Equal will start to heal back up, but Grazine will go down to the Mass Serpent wards as well. Mantis picks up the double on the Wisp.
Well, this is exactly what the Doctor ordered for them. Mantis, he's level 7 now all of a sudden, Equal. Getting a crap ton of farm as well. He can just rush the Blink Dagger only in 600 gold, if that's his item choice here. And just the trust in his teammate, in Mantis, for Equal to run back like that with such low HP. He was so close to dying there to the one Arcane Bolt of Skywrath, but just barely survived thanks to Mantis just tether bottling up. But man, how can you have so much trust in a teammate?
Play with him for long enough and it'll build over time. But I will point this out and we'll address net worth quickly. While all of this has been going on, Enigma has been in the jungle. He's been farming up, he's got his soul ring, he's got stuff on the courier, he's got his boots, and he's got the headdress. So he's going to be developing into that mechanism as soon as possible for myInsanity. That's going to be one of their big items in terms of dealing with this potential burst threat coming out of xGame.
Yeah, but well, speaking of burst, Relocate just came in. They killed the Elder Titan. I mean, Reeves was softening him up for pretty long anyway before, just Vicious Nasal Goo, right clicks with the Quill Sprays to follow. And they brought in Stalcat together with Mantis, so easy kill on the Elder Titan. And Elder Titan really just hasn't accomplished all that much, just Tranquil Boots together with a Magic Stick and Stout Shield, whereas Reeves already has a Vanguard to tank it up.
And Vanguard is one of the few items. Bristleback is one of the few heroes where the Vanguard is really that useful. I mean, I generally give Vanguard a lot of flack as an item. I mean, generally it's not worth the gold, but the way it interacts with Bristleback's passive makes it the perfect item for him, especially tanking up against the potential of A, physical damage, and B, just damage in general coming out of myInsanity. But now LeBron in a lot of trouble. Gets the double edge, couple of right clicks, and that will spell his doom. Mantis picks up another kill, dominating with the Wisp.
Yeah, extremely well played, and now Centaur, he's back to full mana as well, thanks to the bottle at the moment. So he can just hoof stomp away rather freely. They did force Grease into TP out before on the Nature Prophet as well. And Reeves, he's just continuing to bully out Dragon up on the top lane here. He has the level advantage as well, actually by 2 levels even. So xGame 8-3. This early game so far has more or less, I think, worked out exactly as they hoped for.
Well, they even just got a kill on the Enigma. We actually both missed that because of the fight on the bottom lane. And we have to consider this for xGame here. If they can keep this kind of kill momentum, keep this kind of advantage building, especially now we've got Blink Dagger up for Wadafaka, this could be huge. It's the kind of thing that can snowball out of control into aggression across the board. I mean, you pick up your daggers, you start looking for kills. It wouldn't surprise me to see a dagger for equal at some point in the near future. He does not have it at all yet. He opted for treads instead. But once we have daggers, the threat is there for xGame to start crushing myInsanity under heel. But myInsanity equally have they have the Victor on that Enigma. And he's going to be the big engine to turn this game in these fights. It will be up to him to get that black hole.
Yeah, so far though, I mean, he's level 6, but he actually doesn't have all that much farm thanks to Stalker just hindering it in the jungle, just being a presence there, making it so that the Enigma doesn't have a completely free time. So he's actually number 3 from the bottom in net worth at the moment. Elder Titan close by as well. So all the 3 cores in xGame, they're looking good. They are just the top 3 in net worth as well. They do need to snowball a little bit harder though still. But with the way things are going, with the Blink Daggers picked up, especially on the Centaur and the Stampede being available, I do believe they want to be on the aggressive just almost non-stop here.
I will point this out. Generally, we see Enigmas a lot richer than what we're seeing coming out of Victor at this point. And honestly, we need an earlier mech. We need the... Ideally, you'll get your mech before 10, but we're already at the 11th minute, and he still doesn't even have the buckler for it, which is really going to start to hurt Victor greatly, actually. We equally need to see him then progress into a dagger or BKB. Ideally both, but you consider that Wrath of Nature will clean up the Wisp who tanked the tower for a little bit too long, and at least they get a counter kill without having to invest anything. And this tower, I believe, in deny range? Yes, quite a way into deny range, so it would not surprise me to see that one get destroyed by the other type. Seems though they're going to leave it for now, and this could be potential for a mistake.
Yeah, I have no idea why you would not... Maybe somebody wants to TP in here so they can push themselves, but no, not gonna happen. Bottom lane, a kill of Chrisine. They got the hoof stomp, Mass Serpent was committed as well. And now a TP wasted by the Skyref as well, since he didn't really want to TP into 3 heroes and Mass Serpent wards.
But this tower will fall in exchange potentially here. 1 tower denied, 1 tower falls in favor of xGame. And at this point with Relocate available, it's just in my mind a matter of time before we see some form of aggression coming out of xGame. But equally, in comes the concussive shot. They're going to look to bring down Reeves. Going to drop the Midnight Pulse. No Black Hole spent though, and they're just going to be able to walk away from this one. Reeves is just too damn tanky.
And actually, for xGames, who do you think is going to go for the mech? Is it going to be Reeves now after that Vanguard? Or is Mantis and Yaya going
for Mantis. It will certainly be Mantis. You pick a Wisp up, you'll give him the mech, just for the potential to double mech someone.
Oh, mid lane Hoofstomp catches 2 heroes as well, equal. He's gonna be there. Can he lock down Milan? Nope. He had the invis zone. They did use the relocate, so the killing of Chrisine will get the deny on the tower most likely, or at least they should with 5 heroes being there. But Naga Siren escapes thanks to an invis rune, so that's at least good for them. Didn't have to use the song either.
And now when they arrive back on this top lane, you still do have 3 members of myInsanity posturing, looking for this top tier 1, but the problem is, how do they initiate onto the Wisp Bristleback? Bristleback is too tanky. Sure, you can reduce his armor to 0, but Bristleback has damage block. The Ancestral Spirit, as well as the Natural Order Aura, do nothing against damage block. And we could potentially have a charge down here onto LeBron. He's going to be forced to TP out immediately. Doesn't want to get caught, but the Hex stops that! And Reeves will clean up that one. Now they're going to chase for more. They could go on to victory here, especially with this tier 1 missing, but they don't want to go any further. Not at this point.
Well, at the moment, myInsanity they're definitely on the back foot, and you can already see it from Grisin's item choice as well in the Nature Prophet. He had power threats, but now he has a chainmail as well as a Glove of Haste, so... Did he want to go for like the early mech or something and then suddenly like, yeah, I kind of need a Midas to just rat it out and take this to the late game because we've kind of lost control of the early mid game already?
Still though, the thing that concerns me here for myInsanity is how slow their Enigma's coming online. They need this Enigma to come online sooner. They seriously need that mechanism up in these fights. Otherwise they're going to start snowballing out of control in favor of xGame. I mean, in comes xGame actually. You just look at how aggressive Stalkat's being. He saw himself, got the concussive shot on him, but they're going to pop the black hole. They catch the black hole onto the Wisp TPing in, but is this going to be enough to finish him off? Yes, it is. But while this is going on, in comes the double edge, in comes the damage, and even the initiation coming out of the Elder Titan, but it's not enough. You've still got Milan being charged down by Reeves off the back of that Song of the Siren. It's not going to be anywhere near enough. And they bring down the Naga with not even anything invested effectively, and they're going to lose Dragon as well. A couple more right clicks to chop away that Elder Titan. It's more than enough. Still, Reeves will go down under the tier 2, but that was 2, potentially 3 kills on the Bristleback and a full 5-man wipe the way of xGame in their favor.
Yeah, and that actually sets back the Radiance by quite a lot on the Naga as well. Plus the song's still on cooldown. A little bit unfortunate that he didn't cancel the song in time, so that ear splitter from the Elder Titan actually didn't connect. And Skyrift Mage, he did get to use his ultimate by the end of it, but he was just alone there, so he couldn't focus it or get the setup properly himself. If only had been level 6 when the black hole came out, but the kill that happened in the black hole, I do believe it was on the Wisp, the IO.
Yeah.
That got him the level 6, so by then it was a little bit too late as it was. So just them having the bad start, Skyrift Mage not having that fast level 6 hurt them in the fight, and they just lost so damn much. But Naga Siren, he isn't all that far from the Sacred Relic, if not the entire Radiance still yet, but I mean Sacred Relic is still a huge step towards it.
Yeah, but if you take a look at Milan right now, he's just sitting in this mid lane. He needs to be farming, in my mind, a little more aggressively. He's using his illusions to farm up with the Riptide, but is that honestly enough? It's nearly got him the Relic. I mean, he could be doing a jungle camp in the meantime. Then again, you've got to consider the jungle has been invaded by xGame. Wadafaka and Stalkat say, you're not coming in here no more. And when you're up against a Tusk and a Centaur, you generally listen to the Tusk and the Centaur, just for the threat of Double Edge, Hoof Stomp, Snowball. Hell, Walrus Punch as well. And Stalkat does do a good amount of damage with that. I mean, you consider it's a 350% critical hit multiplier on top of his standard damage.
Yeah, and well, they will actually bottle up now a regeneration rune onto Mantis as well. What a great rune to have on an IO, to be honest. But look at Grisin just farming up in the enemy jungle. That's the safest place he can be in, I guess, or at least he feels safest there. But LeBron is going to be in trouble. The Ice Shards actually, they don't connect properly, so he actually might outrun them, and that's exactly what he will do. Stampede even used for virtually nothing.
Wadafaka is coming in on the high ground, though. Could look for the Blink initiation with his dagger. But while this is all going on, we will point out that Grisin is still farming in the enemy jungle. He has his Midas. He's going to be building for, I believe, a Blade Mail on the Nature's Prophet. And now we get the Wisp relocate. They're going to go straight on to Milan, and there's no escape for this one. Down goes the Naga Siren again. Did she at least finish her Relic? She has the Relic, but her Radiance is going to be delayed even further.
Yeah, it's just really timely kills for xGame. So yes, Sacred Relic is there, but he still lost like 200 gold there almost from the recipe. So however much you can delay it, it's going to be fine. And oh, Blink Hex onto LeBron. Mass Serpent was under the tier 2 Reeves. He's the one to tank it possibly up for them. Snowballing to Victor as well. Should be an easy killer. Splitter doesn't connect on anybody. Walrus Punch. The mech is there. And actually, can they turn it around? Nope. Couldn't go for the black hole. He died before. So this is going to be a tier 2, I think, as well.
Yes, especially with those Mass Serpent wards down, and they're being just with Reeves tanking up the tower effectively. And he can happily do this all day long. He's got his Vanguard, he's got a drum, and now he's going for a BKB. Tier 2 falls in favour of xGame, and at this point in, we could be looking for an uphill push very soon. I mean, could look for the tier 3s, but still tier 2 on the top and bottom lane are targets here. Very valid targets coming out of xGame. And they could be rotating towards this bottom lane. That'll force away Grisin, who's already TPing out. He's just going to go up to that top lane and split push that. But the threat from xGame cannot be underestimated at this point. If they help themselves to a Roshan, they're probably going to rotate to that bottom tier 2 next.
Yeah, I think there's nothing really stopping them if they're actually coming in a 5-man fight. Maybe if Victor had himself a Blink Dagger on the Enigma, he could get the surprise factor. There of course still is the combination of Song of Siren into Black Hole, but will xGame be grouped enough? And even then, if for example Reeves, he's in the front lines, or at least he should be in the front lines by all means on the Bristleback. Oh, Stampede? What?
They were looking to catch someone out, in all honesty, and they just went very aggressive just for a second while they did so. I mean, they could have caught someone in the jungle. They were heading towards that bottom lane. They intercepted the creep wave. Hell, they could have caught Prophet if he was pushing the tier 1 with the creep wave. But it was more a preemptive Stampede, looking for anything they could, especially considering they have an invisible Shadow Shaman.
Oh, he definitely wants to go for something. Might catch himself, Victor. He doesn't have Mass Serpent Wars for a couple of seconds, but the Hex is there. What the fuck? He comes in as well. Hoofstomp to follow. Double Edge. One more right click equal. Gets that easy kill, and there's just a terror across the entire map, and Naga Siren just can't seem to find the break to finish up his Radiance.
He only needs 500 gold. He is not that far away from it. If he sends those illusions into the jungle, they can start destroying the easy camp. They could go for whatever they really want, but as we stand, we do still have that threat coming in on that bot lane. Reeves will go in. They're looking for LeBron. Snowball to commit as well, but the Mystic Flare tickles this Bristleback. And now we get the Earthsplitter to try to turn this around. It'll completely miss. In comes Cuisine. Could they look to fight this Nature's Prophet? In comes the Relocate, though. This could be huge, especially considering we're equal with him. Mass Serpent wants to be commit as well. Double kill onto Stalker, but now they're going to turn around and look for Victor. But just look how tanky Reeves is. They're not going to even drop the Black Hole on this one. They can't risk it. All 3 members defending from myInsanity have died. They're all dead, and now tier 2 to follow that up. Pretty good fight for xGame.
Yeah, I mean, Reeves, he didn't even lose the Aegis because Mantis, he came in. He had his mech finished a little bit before the fight, or when they went for Roshan before, so it's just everything is going their way. Milan picks up a regeneration rune, doesn't get it cancelled by Mantis either, so that's a small good point. He's so close to his Radiance. Just sell his TP, sell a Quelling Blade, do something, get that Radiance before you die. Although I guess he will still get it. Mantis, man, a solo support Wisp is just boxing off a Naga Siren. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah, very true, but equally you do have Reeves nearby, and he's just finished a Sanjin Yasha. I thought he was going for a BKB, but apparently he's decided he is tanky enough as he damn is. So going for that movement speed, going to have that damage edge here, and honestly, we're at 21 minutes in. We still don't have a blink onto Victor. We only have just finished a Radiance on Milan. At this point, I don't think the Radiance is going to cut it, because they can just commit and kill Naga outright.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with you here, especially since there's Aghanim Scepter on Shadow Shaman, Mass Serpent Wards even stronger now. You can Song of the Siren and kill off the Mass Serpent Wards. That's one thing you could potentially do at Increasing. No, he's not going to be in trouble equal. Actually, he runs into the river rather than checking his own jungle. But xGame just have so damn much. I mean, what the fuck? He has a Reaver in his inventory. 2k HP. Radiance. Yes, it's going to be a little bit annoying, but a minor annoyance is all it's going to be probably.
Indeed. And I honestly feel very scared here for myInsanity, for lack of a better word. I can't think of the right word at this point, but myInsanity are so far behind. They have 6 kills versus 23. They have a 14,000 gold disadvantage up against xGame and 20,000 experience. And now with the Shadow Blade complete on Stalcat, in my mind, it's only a matter of time here before they start to fall off, unless this Naga can start to become a force in this game. But that's still going to be a long way off in my mind, especially when you got Reeves just chunking people in this mid lane. There's no way the Skywrath Mage can survive this. Just look how tanky Reeves is. He's got 2,000 HP at 22 minutes in this game, with an Aegis still.
Yeah, and they even pop the drums at the moment. They really want to be so damn aggressive. They're just boxing, zoning out everybody who would have thought even to try to defend this tier 2. So, no defending here. I'm hoping they won't use Mass Serpent Wars for it. They definitely shouldn't. But look at Krizim. Backdoor action going on tier 1. The Glyph comes out. But actually the TPs are there as well. Krizim, can he go out in time? Yes, he can. So, nothing really lost. He didn't get to creep skip properly. And it doesn't really stop xGame's push at all.
No, it doesn't, but it does keep the Shadow Shaman away from this potential fight. But is that going to be anywhere near enough, considering you've got what a leading charge? You've got Ice Shards as well. They catch Victor. He's going to be the target, but the silence comes out. He's not going to be able to drop the double edge, but it's not needed. And they lose the Enigma. That's one of the big defending potentials in this fight. Stampede going to be popped just to at least get the team out of the base. And a wise call there, considering the potential to hold them in the base with maybe the Echo Stomp, with the potential of a Song of the Siren setup. Echo's going to drop, does catch 2, but it's not enough in my mind, and they're going to have to kill these Radiance illusions that keep getting sent out, but that's an easy thing here, especially with the Mass Serpent Wards commit, and just every time one of these come forward, the Bristleback will deal with it. Now Milan enters the fray on her own. Is that going to be enough to stop them? I should think so. Song of the Siren to turn this one around, but the Mass Serpent Wards will finish off the tier 3. Are we going to see the initiation? What the fuck? I'm thinking about it. Blinks in, but it catches the Song a second time. They're going to look to bring down LeBron. Will do so with no problem, and now what the fuck on a dominating spree, but the Echoes, the Earth Splitter will catch him, and he's taken down very low, but in comes Stalker, starting to do some good damage. The Black Hole's going to drop, though, but it's cancelled by the Snowball. It doesn't cancel the Snowball, and the Enigma will fall. Double kill the way of Whatafucker, but Equal will equally pick up a kill of his own. All of this, though, they did lose themselves the ET. He will buy back into this game, so that's a 3 for nothing at this point, and the racks are starting to fall. This is a big problem here for myInsanity, and now they get the blink initiation from Whatafucker again, forced up out of the tree, so he does still go down, though, to the tier 3 tower, tier 4 tower, but so many kills, so many buildings going down here in favor of xGame, and sure, the racks still stand, but as far as I'm concerned, it's still a big win for him here, and they're going to chase and go for Equal once more. They get a buyback from the center. Is he going to be able to get back into this fight? I wonder. We hear a stampede. He came back in with the Wisp. They're going to bring down Milan. Double Edge to finish that one up. Full stuff over the edge for Dragon, but the Snowball follows him the entire way. Blink in again. Another kill the way of Stalcat, and this fight just does not end. They're going to look for the Enigma, but Double Edge is there. Full stuff. Is he finding the Hoofstomp? No, he's slowed up by the concussive shot. LeBron, however, is caught out position. Can he get a kill? Can he get Equal? No, he cannot. Hoofstomp comes forward again. One more Double Edge. Now we get another buyback, another TP in from the Bristleback. They want more. Victor, he will be the victim. All of these kills, though, are such a big impact towards xGame's potential here. No one can defend this anymore. Sure, they've still got a Nature's Prophet alive, but he's sat in the base. He's going to TP and look to split push. But that's not enough. They're losing tier 3s in exchange for only a few kills at this point. They've lost tier 3, they've lost racks. This is a complete disaster for myInsanity.
It certainly is, and funny enough, actually, xGame, they had one more buyback than myInsanity did, but just the ability to relocate back in.
Gotta go to Grazine. Grazine getting Double Edge on this bottom lane. Whatafucker is just everywhere. Does not want to give any towers away to this Nature's Prophet, but Hoofstomp, he's thinking about it. Does catch him out. Going to be perfectly timed, and Double Edge to clean that one up.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, the Treants did do a decent enough job in actually preventing the blink there into the Sprout of Whatafucker, but look at this, a Maelstrom pickup on Mantis on the IO now, together with Equal. So...
What in Divinity's Edge is that? Are they just thinking static field with the Mjolnir?
I guess they are. It's like, yeah, we need to counter push against Nature's Prophet a little bit faster. We need Maelstroms on IOs. What? But they're at the point where they can just have any luxury item they really want.
Yes, I would be inclined to agree with you at this point, and I'm honestly expecting a mid-tier 3 push at some point in the near future. However, do we have Black Hole? 44 seconds on that. We've got Earth Splitter available. myInsanity do have the potential to hold. They have the potential to get some kills. Hell, they do have the potential to win a team fight if they can hit their combo. Black Hole, Earth Splitter, Song of the Siren, Mystic Flare, they've got the tools. Can they use them, however? Are they proficient with their tools?
Well, they're using some of their tools. jDL3 with the Treants coming out. They want the tier 1 tower, which might not even be a success. Oh, actually the deny wasn't there, so they got the tower. Some nice gold going on. And I guess just split pushing, buying time is the best myInsanity can hope for at the moment.
Definitely, they just need the Nature's Prophet to try to make some space. He will clean up that tier 1, so that's 1,000 gold the way of the team, but still, we look at the graph, and this is a pretty steep graph. That's nearly a 20,000 gold lead. If myInsanity can turn this around, it will be a game to remember. And it will be off the back of that Nature's Prophet, if anyone. It's
yeah,
still...
but xGame, man, they're not giving any time at all for myInsanity to recuperate. Just straight in, Mass Serpent Ward's not down yet. Now they use it, but Reef, did it just block him in?
I believe they did. Mystic Flare's going to drop, but taking a large amount of damage, but in comes Mantis, trying to buy him some time, force stuff out. They needed to protect him. He didn't have phase boots, so just completely being stuck in there. But now in comes the Song of the Siren. This could be what myInsanity need. In comes the Enigma. Black Hole to be commit? Yes, it is. They catch Mantis and Reeves, but in comes the Snowball, stopping all of it. Whatafucker now coming in as well. Stomp, Double Edge, down goes Victor. Now they're going to look for more of the back of this one. Dragon could be the target here, especially considering Whatafucker is going forward, but This Radiance is still forcing them back a little bit more. The lineup of xGame are all relatively low. And sure, Snowball stops the Black Hole very nicely, I'll point out. That's twice we've seen the Snowball stop a Black Hole mid-channel. And is it enough out of myInsanity from this one? They got a few kills. They forced back the team fight. They lost their Enigma, sure, and they lost their tier 3. Was defending the racks enough in your mind?
Well, I mean, I guess that's the best they can hope for at the moment. And they actually got more than one hero pretty low as well. Equal. Together with Stalkat, they were forced to back off, kind of. So, I think that's their best possible fight that they could have gotten. And I would have thought that the Enigma is just going to get cancelled by Equal, but Equal had to run away with his low HP. So, myInsanity, they're keeping on, and I do believe xGame, they were definitely over-eager and just misplayed it. I mean, ward trapping in Reeves like that on the Bristleback, just eating a full Mystic Flare. If they had played it normally, with Reeves just right-clicking away at the tower, should have been an easy racks for them, to be honest, with the advantage they have.
I can see where you're coming from on that one. It's a hard one to call, considering xGame, they could have fought that one slightly better, maybe focus the Enigma quicker and then just regroup and not like split themselves across the full fight. That at least would be probably the wisest thing they could have done. But now we consider all of xGame are starting to get their health back. We do have Stalkat returning to the base, and we did have Travels that I saw on the... Wow, that is a fast Bristleback. They got Travels on the Bristleback who's moving around at max move speed now, so...
Yeah, he purchased them when he bought back at the top fight or the top racks fight. And he only needs, I do believe, 2 stacks of Warpath to actually have a maxed out movement speed with the items he does. So he is pretty damn fast. What the fuck, I'm going for a Shiva's card, it looks like, with the Mystic Staff, unless it's a Sheepstick. But, I mean, I still think that Mantis, instead of the Maelstrom, could have gone for something like a Pipe, just to make their pushing a little bit easier, so that the Radiance Riptide combo wouldn't just clear off the creep wave immediately, almost.
I can see that. I can certainly see that. But Aegis does go the way of Reeves on that Bristleback once more, so now you have to deal with him twice. And he is max move speed near enough with 1 stack of Warpath. He is incredibly tanky, for 1. He has an Aegis for 2. And the longer he's in a fight, the more spines are going to be thrown around. This is the potential nightmare here for myInsanity. Look at him, he just doesn't care. He's going to walk up and poke at your buildings just for the sake of doing so. He can't damage them because of the backdoor regen, but he doesn't care about that.
Yeah, he actually doesn't do it. That's the sickest thing now. I mean, if he didn't have the Aegis, maybe, since we did see that he's not immortal in the last fight. But Grizzly actually Stalkat, he finds him, the Warrior's Punch comes out. They have the slow from that Frozen GG as well. They even used the relocate just to come in. But I guess some space created, since they're not at the door anymore at the base.
I suppose, yes, some space created, but the relocate's going to send them back, and he's going to take the Centaur. Oh no, that wasn't relocate from the down at the tier 3 where I thought it was, but xGame all forced on the defensive. And I'm personally wondering if xGame shouldn't have gone, oh, you're going to try to take our tier 2, okay, we'll just take your racks. I mean, that is something they could potentially have done on that middle lane. And now we're just seeing that push down the middle lane from xGame, so they're going to try for it anyway. They just want to get that racks. And where is the defense going to come from? Do we have the Enigma with Black Hole? Yes, we do. Could he potentially get a big one here? Yes, he could. Can he? That is the question.
Yeah, and do they even have enough damage if he does? I mean, Naga Siren is still just Yasha, Radiance, Boots of Travels, that's it.
I don't think they have enough damage on the Naga Siren by any stretch of the imagination. Especially now these Mass Servant wards are down, this is going to be a very hard one for them to fight into. But they have Song of the Siren ready to go. Do they want to try to set up on this one? But look at the positioning out of xGame. They are split out so far apart, even if 2 are caught by the Song, the rest of them are safe, let alone Black Hole. Look at Reeves, he really does not care. He just walks up there, he's taking so little damage, this isn't a problem. But he does get caught by an Echo Stomp, and in my mind, we're just going to see a rotation down to this bottom lane as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, now Shadow Shaman is going to be level 16 as well for the next Mass Serpent wards, if they're even going to use them. I mean, Necrobook's on cooldown for Nature's Prophet now, which got farmed up by Mass Serpent wards so damn easy. So, myInsanity, they still have the Black Hole with the Song of the Siren setup. Level 3 Wrath of Nature potentially, but I still think the damage is just not going to cut it. They have Veil of Discord on Dragon, actually, on Elder Titan, but man, it's possibly a too late center. He wanted to go in so deep, but blinks out instead. And looking at the graphs again, the gold graph still sitting around 2,000 or 20,000 rather. XP 30,000 plus. Stampede in snare catches. What the fuck? Maybe they can get this kill. xGame, is the support going to be fast enough? Since, well, what the fuck? He is tanky as all hell. It's going to get slowed down. Malphite stop as well. The stuns are there, but the return is just doing more than it's worth. And now Reeves, he's arrived. This Stalkat is going to go for Victor. Yes, Polar Punch comes through. Victor, he can't go for the Black Hole or Candy Snowball already activated. Song of the Siren to follow. They're just trying to buy.
This is a big one. This is potentially a big one. That's a good black hole. And a blinking from Whatterfucker. This has all gone sideways, but it does get cancelled by equal. And now comes the turnaround. They're going to look for everything they can. Shiva's guard popped as well. They'll lose Grazine, but equally, Dragon gets caught up in. Will manage to bring down Starcut with one more right click, but the Frozen Sigil is still haunting Dragon, and there's no way to escape this. It was a good attempt at a black hole, but it just could not hold its ground.
Yeah, they were just too far behind by this point. I mean, 30k plus in XP, and already bringing down the centaur is so extremely hard. He has 3.1k HP plus 28 armor as well on top of it. So I guess myInsanity, they held on as well as could have be hoped for from them, considering how it went for xGame in the early game. So the end result 1-1, as it's so damn often the same result in 2-game series.
Indeed. Well, in all honesty, we saw a show of force out of myInsanity in game number 1, and in game number 2, we saw aggression out of xGame. They will not be outmatched. And unorthodox draft lies on the side of genius this time round, not insanity.
Yeah, and mid lane Shadow Shaman, not a single death.
That is an immortal Shadow Shaman. Holy hell.
But guys, thank you so much for actually tuning in and watching us. And this is not all for the day of Dota. This channel, yes, will be finished, but HeflaTV 1 is still running with Moscow 5 versus Tusa. As well as they will have more American Dota to follow up at 22 CEST. So more Dota to come on HeflaTV 1 if you want to check it out. And of course, if you liked us, you can always follow us on this channel as well as HeflaTV 1 and Heflamog, and check out our social media. All the links are below the stream. The VODs uploaded onto YouTube almost immediately after the games. And of course, huge thanks to Mr. Blackadder for casting with me. And where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Mr_Blackadder. And honestly, it was a pleasure casting the game.
Yes, so guys, actually we will be back tomorrow as well on HeflaTV 1 with MPGL, the Menesky Pro Gaming League, free best of 2 series with the teams like Titan, Insidious Idol, Awake, as well as, oh god, I'm completely flopping on the last one.
I believe Insidious Idol.
I think I said that. Wait, one more. Oh yeah, Click and Search. So guys, tomorrow lots of action to happen, and hope to see you then. But for tonight, from us, it's a good evening, so have a good one.